Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people? It's Door Shutter coming back to you with a brand new episode of the Direwolf20 1.21 Modpack, and today we are getting into Nori Sheets. I tried to go as fast as I could with that intro. I don't know why. I just thought it would be funny for some reason. Anyway, we are getting the kelp farm set up here, and we're going to do a ritual of overgrowth. I've just got all the source and everything, and of course these are bone mealable, so this should affect this. The next portion of this, so we're going to actually have to get under the water, or get next to the water here. And we should just kind of come out right at that second layer. And of course we are going to then grab our advanced block breaker. Let's rotate this thing around, facing the right direction here. And let's actually wall this off so I can actually get a thermo generator real fast. We're going to grab a stick. I guess we're going to need some sort of item collector, but that'll be up at the top, so we're not too worried about that right now. We're just going to ignore redstone signal, and for the range, we're going to want to get this into the center. So which direction is the center for us? Let's get this above the water so we can actually see where the rendered area is if we can. Is that not the right one? Whereas the rendered, oh, the rendered area wasn't showing. Okay, hold on. Let's get that back down here. Where did we go? Was I right? The Z-axis is what we need, right? Yes, the Z-axis is right there. Man, this is pretty awful to see. So Y, yes, the Y-axis. Okay, there we go. Now I can see the Y-axis. Okay, stop breaking things. Okay, so we need to get this moved over to the center. And we're going to make sure that we're only breaking the kelp block. So allow list. And then let's get this spanned out. Okay, so we don't want to do that. We want to do this. We can go to 4. Is that still too big? Okay, so 3 by 3. And then the Y-axis is going to be 0. Okay, and then we're going to grab a barrel. Let's grab, yeah, a barrel will work. We're going to put the barrel right here. And we're going to grab an item collector. Actually, let's get the barrel up. I don't want it to be in the water. So, barrel center. And then item collector. We do want to grab one of these real fast. Okay, and then that's going to be radius. Let's get the radius on this one turned off. Or the range, the render range thing. Okay, so we're above the ritual brazier. So now we probably want to go down one more. And then go up 4. Maybe 5? Yes. 4 should be good. And we're just going to do 3 by 3. And that way I should stop picking this up. And we're also going to do sound muffle of kelp break. I think it's like grass break is what it is. Or is it? Okay, so it's not grass. Wet grass. AKA kelp. And then demagnetization coil. It's going to be our best friend here as well. Let's try and get this set on top. I think this may be a little distance away from where it actually needs to be, but that should be good. Right? That's like at the very, very bottom. So I may pick up some, but that's okay. Okay. So, kelp farm completed. We just need to get this powered, so let me go do that real quick. Okay, this is powered now. I just went ahead and made, of course, a thermo generator. A lot of these, I'm honestly just going to keep these thermo probably until we do, of course, get a power system strong enough to sustain everything. But all of this is working, which is fantastic. And this thing should still be running. Yes, you can't just see the particles through water, which is a rendering issue, but oh well. So, what do we need to do with the rest of this? Well, we do need to get... Oh, I realized that this is off-center, isn't it? How is that off-center? Oh, it's because I put 2.5 instead of 3. Okay. We need to now get this to be dried kelp, which is the next portion of this. There's a few options we could do. We could, of course, use furnace fuel or another thermo generator to power a furnace. I'm not really sure what I want to do. I know we also could use the campfire. We could just like make this super, super self-sufficient and not have to worry about power. We also have the drying basin, which every 5 seconds would give us one, or every 0.5 seconds with a little bit of RF would give us some dried kelp. I don't think that sounds like a bad one, in my opinion. Not really. A mechanical drying basin. And even just a normal drying basin. I mean, that's literally the thing with smoking it even. You get a 5-second thing. So, I mean, the drying basin requires no fuel. I mean, yes, we could go for mechanical and just have it be snappy, but, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of tempted to go with the drying basin. So, drying basin. So, if I were to just... I'm just going to smack these here for a second. Barrel. No, kelp. Do I have any kelp left in here? Looks like I do. I have a few pieces. So you just throw a piece of kelp in here, and then after 5 seconds, you would then get what you would get with the smoker. I mean, that's not terrible. And most likely, this thing is never going to grow past the first range. So we could realistically put stuff here, or we could flip this whole thing around real quick and just get this barrel out of the water. Let's actually do that real quick. Let's grab a cardboard box. Just attach that. Break that. And then can I rotate this with a Ferrocore wrench? I can. So I can literally flip it around. Get rid of the demagnetization coil. Cardboard box that. And then put the demag coil back. 1 block in the water. Oh, nope. It is not waterloggable. That is something that I should say would be a highly recommended feature. Waterlogging these things. Okay. I was not expecting that to be an issue. And for some reason, I cannot pick it back up. Because it's not at my feet. That's why. Trying to think of what I want to do. Because this is not going to really reach it that well. But, oh well. There's much I can do. If it's not waterloggable, that's kind of a silly little thing. Oh, and wrenching this broke all of its configuration. For the filtering. That's okay. Okay, so why are you not picking things up? Did I, like, break it? I think I, like, broke it. Okay. Wrenching it apparently does not work. So 3, 5, 3 with -5. 3, 5, 3, -5. Oh, that kept its settings. Okay, so I just need to break it and replace it. Okay. Don't wrench it, just break it. Got it. Understood. That should fix that, though. And we are, of course, getting our kelp. So now what we could do for completely free, unless we wanted to speed this up, is grabbing some drying basins. So we're going to grab some pipes here. And we could probably just simplify this with, like, modular routers, in all honesty. That's overrated. Okay, that is golden. Actually, let's move these to where I was going to try and put them originally, which is to the side. Because I may be able to squeeze another 4, or another 2 on this and actually make this just a little bit quicker. Okay. And I didn't know dried kelp takes 10 seconds in a furnace to actually be made. I really didn't. That's news to me. Okay, let's grab a couple more of these. And that way... Oh, come on. I guess I have a drowned farm, too. And then let's actually just go modular routers to move these around. Just get another set real fast. Because I've got 2 Cinder module Mark IIs in here. So that should allow for me to send these over to a barrel on the other side. Okay, so we need... Oh, the only problem is I don't have a way to auto-send stuff. Actually, yes I do. We can just do this. Boop, boop. Modular router. Yep, he converted to a drowned. Actually, speaking of drowned... Yoink. Just, might as well. So, now we should be able to send over to a drawer. That is going to be located right here. And then... Sender. And I'm hoping this will only send in... dried kelp. I hope. Okay, so it's not. So I'm going to have to figure out filtering. App pipes. I don't really want to make an advanced pipe upgrade, really. Do we have any other method? We don't really have any good filtering options, do we? I'm kind of just realizing that right now. We do have item pipes from Modern Dynamics, but I don't know how these function. I literally was kidding about the drowned farm portion, but I don't feel like it was a joke anymore. Okay, so can I right-click to get rid of that? So how does Modern Dynamics work, though? So this is like similar to the OG integrated, or what is it called? Oh, what is that called? Thermal Dynamics? The original thermal pipe system? But this should work. 100%. Do we need to have something to actually accept? Oh, we just need to probably... No? Okay, it's just a little slow. Okay, that's fine. As long as it works. I mean, that gives us 2 filtering slots, which is better than nothing. And they're not really that expensive. I don't have to waste diamonds. I'm okay with that. And there's probably ways to speed these up, right? Yeah, if we just use... It looks like AE2 modules. Advanced behavior. Huh. Maxed moved items. Okay. So yeah, there's different options we have. We could even do sticky pistons, so that's like a vanilla one that we could increase item speed. Okay. Options. I like that. And I think I've looked at this mod before, and yes, it uses thermal textures, and I believe what they said with the mod is that the COFH items and stuff are under the proper licensing so they could use them, which is a-okay. I mean, honestly, I like the mod. I've used it, I think, before in... it was a fabric mod before, I believe. And that allowed for us to actually get just a little bit of experience with it. So definitely some good stuff, and you can see that we are getting pretty decent amounts of dried kelp, which is awesome because this will segue into the next portion, which is actually getting the Nori Sheets. We're almost there. Let me just take care of these drowned. I really was not meaning for this to be a drown farm, but okay. So Nori Sheets. Nori Sheets are crafted by smashing these in with a piston. Nori Sheets, you need to find some kelp in the ocean, make a dried kelp block. Oh, it's dried kelp blocks. That's a thing. Can we use a compacting drawer to get that effect? Like, without having to auto-craft, could we do this? Because if we can, fantastic. If we can't, well, shucks. Yes, perfect. Haha. Okay, let's try that one more time. I completely forgot that it was dried kelp blocks. Nope, that didn't work either. Okay, let's just do one-to-one recreation then. Okay, that worked. So it needs to be block of iron at the bottom. Ooh, and you only get... Is it a variation? Is it not guaranteed to give you 9? That one gave us 8 that time. Okay. That'll work. That's fine. Let's get this going. So, we're going to need something to drop an item. How are we going to do this? This is going to be a little goofy, but I think we've got an idea for this. So, stone. We're going to have to place the piston just like so. Okay. And we're going to want... I'm going to do modular routers to do this because I think the dropper module is pretty decent. And we can also grab a puller module, which will be here. Puller module. And we're going to pull from the back. We actually do want to grab one of these guys real quick before we do that. So we're going to whitelist. And we're going to say from the back. So we're just going to grab from there. That should be fine. I don't think I need a speed module. We're going to grab a dropper module. And we're going to say drop out the front. And this should actually just start dropping. So we're going to actually turn this on redstone required high for a second, just so it stops dropping. And we may as well just whitelist this on kelp blocks. So what we want to do is for this thing to drop, I want, if I can type here, I cannot type for the life of me for a second. We're going to grab a simple sensor from Just Dire Things. We're going to see if we can get this to work. Either that or we could use an observer. I mean, realistically, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so simple sensor, and we're going to sense for dried kelp. Dried kelp block. We're going to target, I guess just block. Does that actually target properly, though? Okay, so if that's not going to sense, this will sense. Or is that not going to work that way? We'll just grab another thing to test. So this probably needs to be allow list. Okay, so that doesn't work. That does work. So that's not what we want. And we can't just place this here, right? This does not work. Okay, that would be pretty cool if it did, but It doesn't. So maybe we want to just do target item. How are we going to do this then? Because now it's targeting error, and that is saying it's correct. We're just going to go to integrated dynamics. Good old classic integrated dynamics. We probably need to get a few more resources from this mod before we continue on with this. But we're going to look for... let's see. I think it's Entity Reader. I think. I could be wrong on this. We need to go grab some pork chops real quick. Let's see. Pork chops. Man, there's so many freaking scrolls in this chest. Oh, goodness. Okay. Entity Reader. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the one that allows for me to see what's on the ground. Because it's technically an entity that's dropped in the world. Okay, so right now, drop that. So, entity Dried Kelp block. That's exactly what we want to see. So we're going to grab some variable cards. So we're going to snag that variable. So entity, this. And then with that, we're going to grab our portable logic programmer. And we're going to see about entity is item. That's not what we want. We want this one. Which is going to convert this into an item, basically. So the entity becomes an item. And then from there, we want item. And we want to make sure that this is a dried kelp block. Okay, so with that, I probably need to grab just a handful more of these cards. And... perfect. Okay, so now we do item. Put a card here. Put the dried kelp block here. And I need to clear out my inventory a little bit real fast. Okay. So these two need to make sure they equal. Did I actually do that twice, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Let's clear this one out. We need to do equals equals, which if you don't know, just means equals. Dried kelp block plus the item entity now equals our variable card. And then this is going to go into a redstone writer. Writer, goodness gracious. That will then send out a signal, or a pulse in this case, to drop the item. Okay. So we also do need a variable store. So we need to toss all of 3 of those in there, and then toss this in here for redstone pulse. And actually, I think we need this to be inverted. Specifically for this one. So let's actually make a second card that is not equals. So does not equal. We're going to do does not equal dried kelp block. And that's going to go in here. So redstone pulse. Is it going to pulse, though? Okay, so then we need another redstone writer to then go to the piston. So logic cable, put this in here with redstone pulse. Okay, so now there's an issue. Okay, so the problem, and we're just going to disable this for a second by taking out this redstone writer logic cable. We need to basically just solve this by getting an item collector. Okay. So hopper, Just grab 2 hoppers from this. And item collector with a, probably just a drawer. I don't think that'd be a bad option. And then we just go render area, go down to -1, go back 1, and that should be perfect. Let's actually make this just a little bit bigger of an area. So 1 by 1, just in case things escape. Shouldn't be a bad idea. And we're going to say we're going to allow for Nori Sheets to be picked up. That's the only thing we want to be picked up. And then a demagnetization coil. And another one, another tier. And we're going to put this with Nori Sheets and Dried Kelp blocks, whitelist, in this area. Perfect? Okay. So now, if we put the logic cable back, this should function. Hopefully. Maybe we need... Oh, I took the... Whenever I broke that cable, it broke the actual thing. Okay. And that should have solved our issue. So now, we've got something that is making Nori Sheets, and it's really annoying. Okay, perfect. We could also probably turn off piston over here as well. Okay, but that is Nori Sheet production. Fantastic. Beautiful, complete. Quickly, I'm going to break everything real fast, because I want to move this to go down. So, real fast. Nope. Oh, goodness gracious. But that is Dried Kelp. Completed. Automated. Bada bing, bada boom. We're done. Fantastic. Beautiful. That is a fantastic episode, I think. We are going one by one. Every episode's going to basically be another automation source. So that is a-okay with me. Just gonna quickly take a screenshot here. Might quickly go make it day real fast. But yeah, this has been another enjoyable episode of just kind of getting this working. Also, by the way, I am not really experimenting that much with this before these episodes roll. That is another thing. This is kind of just coming up with it as we go, which is something I enjoy to do every so often. Not all the time. Not all the time. I know with, of course, the avocado, I had to make sure that the leaves wouldn't decay. That's something I did off camera, but that's a reasonable one to do. Let's grab a Mega Torch real quick. Kind of trying to type Mega Torch, but it wasn't letting me clear the thing. Mega Torch, 2 gold blocks. And we're going to just place another one of these bad boys. I've got several of these placed around the area. I need to go do like a ranged grid area, but I just have not felt like doing that right now. We're just going to plop that bad boy right there, and that should prevent the zombies from attacking us, hopefully, or from spawning in general. But yes, this is, I mean, just an absolute beautiful system. I'm honestly really proud of these so far, and I can't wait to see what we get up to in the next one. So I know we do need to get a cooked rice situation going. The problem is I don't have rice. I have not actually found rice, and I actually think we just saw a solution. Real quick. I need to find the right kind of rice. Do we have the ability to get this from the market block? So if you don't know what the market block is, we're just going to plop this down here real quick. We're going to wait for this guy to fall from the sky. You don't really need to wait, but I think it's just always so cool to see. Do we have rice? You do not have rice. Of all the things that I need, you do not have it. Okay, but this is a good way to get different seeds and stuff, by the way. Definitely useful, especially because if you don't find cherry trees or jungle saplings or anything, this is an option. Of course, you've got tomato seeds. This is why I was thinking we could get this, is because Farmer's Delight stuff usually is in here, but apparently rice is not. So I need to go find some rice. I have a couple things to think about. Rice is one of those, right? I have a way to do rice, which is the exact same way we're kind of doing this. get a block breaker like that in the wall and waterlog an area. Rice grows in 2 tall water. I do believe, is it 1 tall or 2 tall? I don't know. We'll get into it next episode. We'll verify. But overall, this has been an absolute blast. I am enjoying every second of these episodes so far, and I can't wait to see where we get to. I know the one problem, the bottleneck of this system, is probably going to be tuna, because tuna, we could find, I mean, tuna. We have that in the Dirigby farm, but the problem is they don't produce that much tuna, which is interesting because you would expect them to, but they actually do not. So if we look in here, we have like 658 tuna. Last time I looked, we had like 400, 500. So this doesn't generate that much. So just keep that in mind. It's definitely a little slow, but I think for right now we should be good. If I need to, I can maybe look at an apothic spawner. Because I think I picked up one. And we may be able to find a tuna egg. Like a tuna fish egg, because I have captured 3. I just have to go find a whole bunch of tuna and just slaughter them. But, yeah. Things to think about. Anyway, I keep rambling. Let's get on with it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.